Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel, and this is Best Bet with Rita. In this channel you will learn tips, and I'll be giving you hacks that will help you run through life issues, and then they are from my research that I carried out and from data I gathered from here and there. So sit back because we're going to have fun. Today's topic is going to be very interesting, so don't get distracted. So we'll be discussing about things to have in mind when you're thinking of migrating. I did the part one, and this is the part two. So for continuation of the things I've said before, what I said before were things what happens in abroad, and now I want to help you to know the things to consider. These factors, don't joke with them, because they will help you in doing your preparation or to make up your mind if really you want to migrate or not. And if this is your first time of bumping into this channel, I am just asking that you press the subscribe button. Hey guys, did you notice we've hit over 100 subscribers? And let us celebrate our wins. You know, we celebrate our small wins, but that's what gets us to the bigger ones. So we are over 100 and something subscribers, and I want to say thank you very much to our subscribers. I want you to hit the notification button so you don't want to miss out on our new updates. So number one thing to have in mind when you want to migrate is about your lifestyle. Your lifestyle might change drastically. One something you need to have in mind is that you might get lonelier. So if you're that kind of person, your people oriented, you can't stay without the company of friends and family and loved ones, you need to reconsider your mind, because you might get lonelier. The first stage, or the stages of acclimatization with the new environment you can be finding yourself, might be very boring. You will not see your family friends, except you're going to a place where you have family and friends. That's when it might be easier for you. But if you're going to a place where you're just alone with your family, or you're alone with you and your spouse, or you're going there alone as a student or whatever, you will need time to adjust, because to get lonelier, you look for people to talk to you wouldn't see. You get to figure out things yourself. Like for those that are going to study, when you get to a school in European countries, a lot of things are done online. A lot of things are done through school data system. So you need to get abreast with this kind of things. So start now to know how to do this kind of things, because you might get lonelier. You might not find who will help you. Things will just look new to you. So, and then you need to understand that you cannot get everything you want initially. So you have to start preparing yourself to have those things that you cannot do without. So get those things that are very your essential things that you can't do without. You need to have them handy, because at the point you might not know where to buy stuff, you might not know shops where to get something or to access some other essentials. So if you're going to migrate, or if you're thinking of migrating, think of those handy things you can't do without, and make sure they are with you when you're migrating, because they might be very difficult to access when you're in a new land. So, and lastly, one thing to have in mind in your lifestyle is that if you're the type that eats a particular kind of food, it might change. I've said that in the first part one. A lot of your food might change. So start looking for a way to adjust or to help your taste buds to get used to a lot of things, because your lifestyle will totally change. I'm serious. Okay, let's say let's give for instance a country like Australia, that we are 10 hours ahead of a lot of countries. We are hours ahead of a lot of countries. So I might not be able to communicate with my friends or my family the way I used to do. So I have to set up a plan the way I'm going to do it. So that is what's going to take me to my next tips you're going to have in mind when you're thinking of migrating. Let's say you have a PhD where you're coming from. If you're migrating, you need to know that PhD might not get you the kind of job you're having right now in your country, or you're having a master's. Just know that it might not get you the kind of job you're looking for, because a lot of countries prioritize their own educational system. So if you're coming with your own kind of degree or whatever you're coming with, so you know that it might change. If you're moving over to another country, you might have to undergo another master's, because they might not prioritize that's your degree you have, or they might want you to have the one in their country. So know that you'll be brought down from your highest. And in terms of jobs, like I said, if you're the type that only believe in white collar job, you don't believe that you can do any other thing, just know that you can't migrate, because initially you might not get exactly what you think you fit in for. Example, I mean, a lot of people migrate to European countries like the UK, America, and then they get care jobs. Previously, in their country, they were bank managers, they were whatever, but to be able to fit in, to be able to sustain themselves financially, they have to take up whatever job. And here, there's nothing like a menial job. Every job puts food on the table, so every job is prioritized and respected. So that high horse you have in your mind, maybe you're a senator's child, or you have maybe you're being carried, like if you have, like I mean, maybe you're the type that goes out with escorts. Abroad there's nothing like escorts, except you're a political leader, and here nobody cares. I can walk up to the prime minister's house. There's no fence. Everyone is accessible. Do you understand? So there's nothing like high horse. You have escort. If you have 5 cars over here, be ready to pay radio for 5 cars every year. Be ready to fuel 5 cars. Be ready to pay tax on all these commodities you're acquiring. Do you understand? So all those high horse will be living in different countries. When you're migrating, have in mind that you might not live that kind of life. You will grow into it eventually, but initially, or with the kind of way you're thinking right now, it might not suffice where you're going to. So you have to make up your mind that, oh, the kind of job I'm having now, I might not have it where I'm going to, or the kind of educational system I already have, I might not be able to get whatever I want using this kind of educational system. I might do something different. Do you understand? You have to open your mind to that your high horse will be brought down. And then number 3, which is very, very important, if you're thinking of migrating, you must have proper plan. Planning is one very far. There's this saying that if you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail. So if you're thinking of migrating to a new land where you have no mother, no father, no brother, even if you have those things, you need to plan. Planning is one very essential activity you must carry out. Plan your finances. No one builds a house on borrow. You must count your cost. Where I'm going to, I need visa. Where I'm going to, I need flight. Where I'm going to, I need to take IELTS. You have to plan your cost. You can't just depend on people when you want to travel, because people might disappoint you. So you should be able to save or have a plan B and C where you can just run to and get money. You need to have that financial plan. You can't just travel abroad on hearsay and promises. You need a financial plan. I'm very, very sure, because a lot of people get hypertension or are disappointed in the long run, or say, oh, I've gotten my visa and now I don't have flight money. Then they start worrying people. No, you need to take cost of your trip. Do you understand? You need to understand that you cannot just go to a place on people's promises. You need to have financial plan. And then when you have that plan, you also need to plan for your accommodation. So some people just go to a country and they don't even know where to reside. Like, before you go, you must research what is the accommodation cost in that country. At least pay ahead for like a week or 2 or 3, so that when you get there, you're not stranded. You see a lot of people living under bridges. You see a lot of people just moving around like sheep without control. Like, you can't just think of moving abroad. Even if you have scholarship, you need to have your backup cash. Do you understand? Because the process takes time. And even if you have a scholarship, when you arrive there, they won't just pay you the money, except everything has been funded. And even if it's been funded, for security purpose, you must have financial plan. And that planning, I mean, you're going to research about the language those people speak. So, okay, for example, me, I'm someone that I'm not very good with language. So when I was thinking of migrating, I looked at countries. I saw Germany, I saw Canada, I saw Australia, and then I knew that if I go to a place where they don't speak English, I might suffer, or it will take time for me to get to learn the language. And I know very well, sincerely, that I'm not very good with language. So I choose this English-speaking country. If you're someone that's very good with language, you can pick anywhere, but do not move to a country you don't know what they speak, because you will suffer. Language is one very big thing people suffer when they go abroad, because you just become an island. You just feel lost, because first of all, I told you, it gets lonelier. And then now you don't even understand what is happening in language. And secondly, I want you to understand that even if you want to get a job or you're going to school, you're going to use 1 year or a year and 6 months to learn that language. So if you're someone that's very good with language, you can take that kind of risk. But if you're someone that's not good with language, so you have to choose. If you're a francophone speaking country, I would advise that you think of a francophone speaking country to migrate to. If you're English speaking, move there. And then if you're good with language, you can take the risks, but calculate your risk. Do you understand? Research, plan, have money, research where you're going to so that you don't get lost. I'm very, very serious. Do you understand? And in that research, you must research about the economy of that country. So you can't go to a country you don't know their GDP. You can't go to a country you don't even know as in what the financial prospect there is for you. Like you are going to a country you don't, like I see some people, someone was telling me a story that someone was saying he wanted to migrate to a place, and then they'll pay him what amount. And then when I calculated it with what he's earning in his country, it was like, guy, why do you want to migrate? Why do you want to go and suffer yourself? It's not all rosy. Do you understand? So you need to research about the economy of the people. Compare it first if there's an advantage to you. Do you understand? You research about the prospects. You have immigration prospects. Some people go to a country, they don't have prospects. You just go to a country and then you are lost. You go to a country, you don't even know what the country has to offer you. You don't know their welfare policy. You don't know their childcare policy. You don't know anything about it. You don't know how the people, you don't know the culture of the people. You don't know the language of the people. You don't know their culture. You don't know if it's a country that you cannot drink beer. And then you're going there with the mindset that you'll be frustrated. You've not researched about their lifestyle. And you're going there. I know of some Arab countries, you can't go alone as a woman. So you must research. Can I go alone as a woman? Can I go as a man? Do you understand? Can I go with certain things? There are some countries you don't go with seedlings. They don't appreciate it. There are countries you don't go with a lot of things. So you must research. Is one very, very important thing. And I don't like when people depend solely on agents. Because even these agents, they are just there to do your job. They are very good. They make things handy and fast. But they won't do what you would do. They won't carry out research for you. They will only make it possible. When you arrive there, they've left you. They are not there with you. You're the only one that's going to handle whatever situation you meet them. So research about the economy of the people. Research about the prospects you have. Research about their language. Research about their coping mechanism. Every country have their coping mechanism. If it's a country like UK, they have code. High code. So you need to understand how the people cope there during code. Is it a place that I can cope? Do you understand? If it's a place you cannot rephrase your mind or rephrase your plan, that's why planning and research is one very, very important thing that you can't do without if you're considering migrating. Do you understand? Research is going to help you to know where to fit in when you get to a country. You're going to the country with full information of where, so that whatever decision, whatever happens, you've made them with serious information. Do you understand? So you don't go to a place and you are lost. You go to a place and you're knocking at every door. No one answers you. If you knock on anybody's door, they will call the police for you. There's nothing like, please help me, let me stay 2 days, 3 days. They will call the police. You should have your plans. A lot of people go to a country and they're missing. This is the reason why you hear that someone has been in Europe for 20 years and no one is hearing anything about him or her. This is the reason, because they just, like we hear some people follow Libya border, whatever, and they're in the country just like that. They don't even know anything. They just feel that it's a greener pasture abroad. It's not true. There's nothing like greener pasture anywhere. You can make wherever you are a greener pasture. Do you understand? But if you want to migrate, carry out your research thoroughly so that you're not misled. And then number 5, this one is for my own personal. Do you understand? This one is very, very important because I get a lot of, like, I'm in a group, wives are mother, and we hear a lot of things. Do you understand? It's about your relationship. I'll be breaking it down into 2. For singles that are courting, if you're in a relationship and you're thinking of migrating, 2 things you need to do. You need to discuss with your partner if distance is your thing. First of all, before making that kind of plan, are you both migrating, or one person is going to migrate? And then the person, like, you need to understand what prospect the relationship holds in this migration plan. If you're a single, you need to discuss with your partner to understand what time are you going to join the person. Is distance relationship your thing? Okay, if people have reached that kind of compromise, that distance relationship you can cope, how are we going to be communicating? When am I going to join you? Okay, if so and so happen, how long can I wait for you? You need to discuss all these things, put it bare on the table and discuss. Because if you assume and let your partner migrate, it's problem you already fixed for yourself. Because a lot of people go abroad and then they meet people, they meet situations they didn't expect, and then they change. A lot of people complain, oh, he's not calling me, like you didn't sit down to discuss all these things. Do you understand? You need to know these things, because in order to avoid the kind of problems it could bring in your life, so that you that is migrating, you don't come here and keep somebody's daughter waiting for you for years, and you that is wherever you are waiting, so you don't wait and miss. You both need to come to a compromise, and if you both have understand that you can do this thing, then you must plan when you're going to bridge that gap and come together. Do you understand? And then to the married, it goes vice versa. If you're a married person and you're thinking of migrating, guy, I will always advise that you think of what year or month the next person is going to come. I would advise that you apply for the visa for all the parties involved, the couples or the kids involved, so that what will be remaining is you coming over, working, getting money and bringing them over. Because sometimes this immigration stuff changes and it takes time, so that you don't come over and it takes years. Your wife or your husband, kids are just waiting for daddy or mommy waiting for to come back. Do you understand? Make that plan as well, to know who will be going first, who will be joining this, what will happen. And then please do not forget, whoever you're living over as your wife or husband, to make sure their rent is paid over time. I'm serious, I know what I'm saying. So that in case you come and you don't meet what you're expecting, they are not stranded back home. They are sure that they're being taken care of. And if you're thinking of moving over, what are you going to leave for them in case of anything happens? So that's why I encourage you at the first time that you make sure you apply for visa of all of you before moving. But if you're going to move maybe because of money constraint or whatever, please make sure to bridge that gap, because a lot happens outside. Time changes, misunderstanding happens. I know of a story, like I can remember then when my husband was in the UK. He was so busy working, and then I was saying, why is he not calling me? Why is he not calling me when I come? Like, he kept telling me the working system in UK, you can't be working and you're picking calls. The culture is different. You can't, if they catch you, in fact, some places where you work, you don't even go in with your phone. Some places is not condo, you can't make calls. So then when he sat me and I understood this thing, but then I didn't know. I was worried. Oh, what is he doing? Oh, is he too busy? He doesn't have time for me. So to avoid all this kind of matter in your relationship or in your marriage, fix it. If you're gonna leave them as a husband, you're moving, you want to move over, consider the rent you're going to pay for them for how many years. And then please, people should decide what year or what month or how far it's going to take people to come together. Because I'll tell you that distance marriage is not very, very easy. We're going to have another time for it. So, but for now, think about these things and make sure you settle them if you're thinking of migrating as a person in a relationship or as a couple that you understand you're married and you have kids. And lastly, keep your plans low key until you are sure of moving. Hey, I'm very, very serious, because this trick helped me a lot. Like, you can't just start making plans to migrate and then you've not even applied for visa. You've not even taken maybe the IEL. You've not even had all the money and then you broadcasted your plans. Who does that? Is that wise? Keep your plans low key. Do not raise expectation. Just do your plans until you are very sure. And I'll give you the reasons why you should keep your plans low key. It will help reduce expectation, so that you don't go out every day as much as say, you never go, you've not traveled, when is the date? Like, you just give yourself unnecessary pressure. People start asking you questions. When are you moving? Oh, you've not gone. Oh, have you done, like how will you live your life under people's expectation and people's questioning? Keep it low key. Do your plans on the ground so that you reduce people's expectation. Do you understand? And then secondly, another reason is that so that you don't get disappointed and you don't disappoint people. Because in case it doesn't work, people will laugh at you. Or people will say, hey, that man that said this, said that. So why not keep your plans low key? It worked for me. Like no one knew where I was going to, because it was nobody's business. It was I and my husband's plan. we knew what we wanted to do, and when we kept it low-key until we, do you understand, it's going to help you reduce expectations, it's going to help you to avoid disappointment. And what if we change our mind and it wasn't money constraint, we finally change our mind and we're not traveling again? So because we didn't tell anyone, it was just easy for us. It would be easy for you to, like, people give themselves unnecessary stress with broadcasting. You have not even done anything, you've shared everything out to everybody. Do you understand? Stop putting yourself under so many pressure. Yeah, you understand? So it's going to help you, so that you don't, to encourage you, so that you can make money and people can help you. Okay, let's say you want to travel abroad, and then you've told like 5 friends they want to travel abroad. Maybe they have that money, or maybe they don't have the plans of going abroad. And some people have this misconception that abroad is greener pasture. And then you've told everyone, and then maybe you're in need of money, and then you go to that your friend that has his own money and has things to do with his money, to say, oh, please help me. Do you think he's going to give you? But I'm sure maybe if it was a low key, you didn't tell anyone, maybe you asked, maybe they would have helped you in their own way. Do you understand? So people use their mouth to spoil their plans. Do you understand? So you just keep it so that people can help you genuinely without any so much expectation. You understand? So that you can socially you avoid so many problems in keeping your plans low key. You understand? Just keep it low key, and when it happens, you thank your God, you move over. You understand? So let me just know what you think about these tips I just mentioned right now. So tell me where you are in your plan, and you can also comment and give us your comment in the comment section. Let's know what stage you are, what is it that you've done wrong, how you can correct it. I just want to get your input into this discussion, and then I will see you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe, and it's your girl Rita. Thank you. Bye bye.